your message may be 1,000% right about everything you reported yesterday, but you're Shaun Morash.
Of course.
You hate the Jets. And so we live in these extreme worlds where we take people who aren't defined by this, but we make them extreme. I love you, and I love Craig, who refuted everything you said. Here is me taking what Craig is to the extreme and you to the extreme. You're a Jet hater, and you're a Jet troll. So everything you do is related to that.
Can we just stick with troll, not hater?
Okay. And Craig is just a shill who's going to repeat whatever the Jets tell him. Now, I don't think both of that is fair.
Yes.
I think both of you are coming from good places. You're coming from a place of sources have told me this. And Craig, who's been open about it, like I'm not speaking out of turn here, has said, I called the Jets. He went on a whole thing. I called the Jets. I love Craig. And I've said this to him many, many times. They're lying to you. Like, I'm just going to be blunt. I love the Jets. They are my favorite team. I continue to give them money. They're not going to admit bad things about the franchise. So I respect and appreciate that Craig reached out, but I'll say it again. One time I called him a useful idiot, and he left. In this case, unfortunately, again, I think you're a useful idiot. Like, the Jets are not going to say, oh, yeah, Woody's getting handsy.
Right.
Darren Muji is miserable. They're never going to admit that. And here's the problem with the Jets, an organization I truly love, and I hope they're listening. When you earn the respect back, we'll believe you. But until then, Craig may believe you. I don't. And if you got a problem with that, change the narrative. Now, with that said, you can defend yourself on your reports yesterday. Are you going to take anything back and apologize?
No, I do want to just fix one thing, because something spiraled out of control. And this isn't Craig's fault, but I kind of blame Craig a little bit for this. What I said about Darren Muji yesterday got completely twisted and out of control. I didn't utter the words Darren Muji is going to quit the New York Jets. He clearly wants to do a good job and wants to be a good general manager in the NFL. What I did say is he has talked to enough people who those people then were at the Senior Bowl conversing going, oh, you heard this from Darren? Darren Muji is not happy with the circumstances surrounding the New York Jets. He feels like it's a toxic work environment to work around. He is trying to prevail and work through it. But he was warned before he took the job by people that are out in Denver and otherwise, be careful working out there because this is a first job for you. And he took it because it was one of 32 jobs. And I think what he is finding out now, and he is expressing back to these people, is buyer beware. So other fellow scouts all throughout, the NFL community are hearing from Darren, hey, just be careful if you get promotions. This is not the first job you want to have. That was the point I was trying to convey. In fact, I woke up to a text message, Evan, from somebody who had nothing to do with feeding me this yesterday, who is also in the NFL, who simply texted me. Should I read it word for word or paraphrase it?
Yes, why not? Who cares?
Okay. And again, I'm not revealing a name or anything. Yeah, Muji is walking around these colleges he visits, talking to scouts, and he has been talking about how miserable he is with the environment that the owner is creating. And Evan, you can back me up because did I show you this text or did I read this?
He showed me the text.
I woke up to this. So for anybody out there who wants to discredit me, I get it. I don't like reporting things because I like being fun and jokey. I like having fun on the radio. But when I get something that is sourced by multiple people, I feel like it is a necessity on WFAN to provide the fans and the audience the information they should know.
When you get info, you have to report it. I got told for a week and a half that I was a moron, that the Wilpons were selling the Mets.
Correct.
And you know what I did? Yeah. I just shut up until it happened.
Correct.
And then I said, well, I told you first.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. That's all you got to do. Ignore it. Ignore it. Trust who you talk to, not who Craig talked to. Because Craig's getting it from the defense. They're defending themselves.
Right. And by the way, they have every right to defend themselves. And this is what I love about these stories. And I always say this when it doesn't involve us. It obviously involves you, Craig, and whoever. Who's leaking that and what's their motivation? And I'll play that game with you in a second, but in the case of Craig, it's the Jets are defending themselves. And they're denying things.
Their motivation is they don't want to look incompetent.
They even denied something that's been widely reported far beyond you. I heard Craig say Wink Martindale didn't come here to New York City with the job being offered. Rich Cimini's basically reported the same thing. Connor Hughes has all reported the same thing.
Yes.
He said it wasn't true. Yeah, because the Jets are probably denying that.
Of course.
And so who am I going to believe? I'm not going to believe. It has nothing to do with Craig. I don't believe the Jets. I just don't. Of course they're going to come out and say this isn't true. Woody's not doing this. But history tells us that he probably is. So motivation beyond leaking, motivation beyond putting the information out there. The Jets are motivated to defend themselves. They have every right to. I have no idea who's giving you information. God bless you. I don't know their motivation.
Right. Well, honestly, the Jets shouldn't respond to it.
They should.
Because who cares? The response is what gets the action or gets people talking about it. The initial report is just a report.
Right.
And as soon as you push back against it, now it gives people license to say, well, which one is true? So now you dig deeper.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything.
Right.
Like you don't have to defend yourself, especially if it's not true. You know what I mean? It's just kind of weird. And by the way, this isn't terminal. This isn't something that's going to hurt the Jets' ownership structure. It's not going to do anything.
Well, it's going to continue to be that this is a toxic franchise.
But by the way, that's going to exist no matter what the Jets do.
No, I know, and I've been told that. We've said that yesterday. We've been told this by people not affiliated with the Jets. Here's the thing you can't dispute.
This is the perception.
The perception about the Jets, forget me, forget you. From respected NFL people is that they're a sewer and they're a joke and that Woody is too handsy and that everything that's out there is true and no one wants to work there. And people have said that.
Right.
Now, is that true if someone from the Niners or the Giants or the Steelers are saying that? Doesn't matter if it's true. That's the perception of the New York Jets. So when you said what you said yesterday, and I have no idea, I'm not talking to any sources, my reaction is, yeah, that is the perception of the New York Jets. I've heard that. So why would I not believe that?
And of course, don't doubt it. Right.
No, and the Jets' response is going to be what? They're going to be like, it's not true. It's all lies. Of course they're going to say that.
And you know what? Because I'm here now, I felt like my integrity was challenged yesterday, which I didn't like. It didn't feel great. I understand the Jets.
Hold on a second. Craig did not challenge your integrity.
No, he did not. He did
Just
not.
like I'm not challenging his.
No, this became...
He's getting it from a place
Correct.
I don't trust. Has nothing to do with him.
Right.
And just like he did not say it about you. He said, you got information, they're wrong. So it's almost like a battling of the unnamed people.
This is not targeted at Craig, but for everybody out there that wants to question my background or anything, I didn't come in from a parachute 2 years ago into WFAN and appear out of thin air. I spent 15 years working national radio, networking, meeting a ton of friends and whatever. I'm sorry. I do have sources. You don't like them, you don't want to hear from them, that's fine. I don't often report things because it's not my game and not my alley. This is the kind of thing, like it or not, that I think a lot of local reporters are not going to report on because it gets touchy when talking about an owner being overly
because
involved.
they're now in the room on a daily basis.
So that's why a report like this is going to come from somebody like me who's not there every single day eating the croissants and pizza that Woody Johnson's paying for.
Can I ask you a question? And you may choose not to answer this, but I want to ask the question. The Jet reporters have been very quiet. In fact, the only reporter that's come out with an opinion on this is Manish Mehta, who has the credibility of my left toe.
Correct.
Okay? So when people say, well, Manish Mehta denies the report, Manish Mehta was accused of wasn't he accused of following Joe Douglas's kid or something? So I don't want to hear it from him or people quoting him. So what I'll ask you is, have any Jet reporters, don't name their names, privately reached out to say, hey, Shaun, you're wrong, or hey, Shaun, you've nailed that?
I just want to make sure I get this count right. 4 combined reporters in this local market reached out to me yesterday after all this backlash. 4.
To say what?
Good job on this. We've heard the same.
Wow. That leads to many other questions.
Well, but by the way, they might be looking to dig a little deeper and do certain things. And I understand the things I'm talking about are touchy.
You know what?
You can choose not to believe me. That's fine. But that's the info I got.
And by the way, even if it is true, it's Woody Johnson's right to say that. So why are they defending themselves?
Well, that's the other part too. Right? Like you could be Team Woody here.
I could see why it benefits Aaron Glenn to be the defensive coordinator of a sinking ship. If I'm the captain of this ship and it's going down, am I jumping off and saying, hey, Wink, hey, drive this thing, man. Hey, I'm going to stand in the back and cheer you on. No, you want to get at the helm and take control over it. And Woody, who is trying, and look, Woody's not trying to suck at this thing. He's not trying to be a bad owner. He's not trying to put a bad product out there. If you're Woody Johnson, you should say, bro, I hired you because of your defensive acumen. Do your job. And if not, we'll get somebody else to do it.
Okay.
So I don't know why the pushback has to be so like, this didn't happen. There's no way it went down like that. It's like, the Jets should stand up and said, hell yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, he's the owner.
Because he's the owner. And what Aaron Glenn put out there last year is unacceptable.
Yeah.
That should be the response. You should get angry about it, not like, this didn't happen. No. We don't operate like that. We all know you operate like that. Like, flip the script, turn it around,
Yeah.
make yourself the person in control instead of the person always defending and cowering behind nonsense.
One of my favorite parts about the criticism Shaun got is, so on one end, you've got Craig saying, hey, none of this is true.
Right.
And on the other hand, you had a lot of people saying, all Shaun is doing, especially in the Wing case, is repeating stuff we already knew. So half of your criticism was, oh, we all knew that.
Right.
And they're sort of right and wrong in the same regard. It's a fine report, but if you listened carefully to a guy like Rich Cimini, who did an interview with Gary Myers last week, Rich Cimini basically said the same thing without getting as specific as you did. He basically said the owner stepped in on the Wink hire. Right. Respected reporter Rich Cimini. It's just that Rich and a lot of others haven't gone as far as you have. So on one breath, you've got he's got no sources, it's all not true. And on the other end, the criticism is, come on, we all knew that.
Why would I have one thing from the same people and the other thing be completely off the wall and false? That's what I just don't understand. Like, use your head.
Here's all I know. This franchise sucks.
The Jets are a sewer.
And when you laid out about Woody Johnson, it's fair. He has a right to do it. He should do it. He should come out and admit it. We as Jet fans, I can't speak for everybody. I will speak for myself. I know Joe will feel the same way. Most people will feel the same way. We don't want this man handsy with the team.
Right.
Yes, he has a right to do it. No freaking kidding. He's the owner. It's his toy. He can do what he wants. I get it. We don't want it because he's not good at it. And so if Aaron Glenn wanted to hire Wink Martindale, either let him hire the coordinator he wants or get rid of him. That's my opinion.
Right.
And here's my other opinion. I don't give a rat's ass who's right, who's wrong, what your sources are. The Jets are a joke and it needs to change. And my message to the Jets is start winning and you won't have negative reports about you. Start winning, start being competent, and it'll all be good. This town is the best when you're competent. Look at the Knicks. You see any scandalous reports about the Knicks anymore? You want to know why? Because they win. Win something. Shut up and win. That's from every Jet fan out there. Just win.